The hell? Did Duxie
Hello.
just break up with us live on air?
Not yet.
That's got to be against Twitch terms and conditions.
Ollie and Ian, you're my boyfriends now.
All right. Welcome
so
to Jarviskjir Horn of Plenty.
What a wretched hag.
Hag is such a good insult, though. It's an underrated banger
It
of an
is.
insult.
Agreed. For some reason that
Timeless.
I saw, particularly with like the purple olirant, the 10-month subscriber, whatever it is, I could not unsee the Eye of Saruman right then. I was like,
What?
oh.
You getting PTSD from the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Yes. Come on,
Okay.
don't tell me you didn't have an emotional roller coaster with those.
I think I was too young to have
Yeah.
emotions. As you all know, we don't get emotions until we get to 13 years old, where your emotions are installed.
That
At least
is
for me.
Yeah, it's like nope, still in beta. Oh no,
Beta
you get the
Ollie
beta
had-
version during your teen year. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
really cry that much as a kid. Only really when I swallowed a wasp when I was drinking a can of Sunkiss that I didn't see.
I knew the second you started opening your mouth that there was going to be some
Why,
dumb
like,
Dean story.
why did you just not drink this can like your life depended on it? You must have been like, "Ah, I've
was
swallowed a
hot.
wasp."
It was hot. It was like 20 degrees. That's hot for North. Sweating. I needed orange fizz.
I'm ready to play.
Yeah, the only orange fizz I need is the orange fizz of murdering player characters. Let's go. Last time in Jarviskjir Horn of Plenty, we started off this new campaign, taking place on the continent of Mother's Horn, far away from the rest of Jarviskjir. We found the little village of Cornucopia, so beautiful and lovely that everyone died. The village was attacked by both a dragon and Minotaur under the command of a dragon. You guys actually fought away the Minotaurs, but the damage was already too bad, and pretty much the entire village burnt down, aside from some buildings, and around half the population of the village died. From there, your mission is clear: to help rebuild this village and eventually get your revenge. You actually came up with a temporary solution to the food problem. As long as there are fish in the river, Amaryllis can use her strange powers to purify them somehow. It goes entirely beyond everyone in the village, but hey, they get to eat. The next mission you pretty much decided upon was rebuilding the chief's old hut. Yes, chef. It wasn't funny until I saw Neil laughing.
I tried not to.
Your plan is basically to rebuild it because of all the people who are currently in tents, and Bella's been able to build temporary shelters, but winter is coming. I can't say that! I'm gonna get sued! Cold weather times are coming, and if you rebuild the chief's hut,
My God.
it's big enough that most of the village can stay in there while the buildings are being rebuilt and such, because it's the largest village building in the village. And by clearing people away from Leha, the village spiritual guide's hut, means that you can actually perform surgery on Griff, Bella's dad, because it won't be too busy. So that's pretty much the objective I have for you. Unless any of you would really be more interested in something else. The first mission is clearing out the chief's hut. It burnt down while you guys were in it. There was even a Minotaur that knocked down some of the supporting pillars onto Richter. So it being a very big and very well-made building, it's still got walls and things like that, but the whole roof caved in into this big ashen, smoky pile of wood and burnt thatch and ash. So the first goal is to clear that out.
Well, I'll do my best to clear out all the large chunks of timber and things of that sort.
Would anyone else
Will
from...
instruct you on which ones look usable for shelter and which ones don't and stuff like
That's
that.
good. Yeah, absolutely. You two gonna help Team Magic Nerds?
Yeah, Team Magic Nerd is arguably the best helper. I think we can agree, Ian. Let's
Trying to
see.
work out if I have anything. That's
Yeah, take a real quick look.
Actually, no. I have proficiency and woodcarver's tools, so I could sort of. get to
Absolutely.
work on
Yeah, you could
the
absolutely
basics of
use
it.
proficiency woodcarver's
Can
tools to
actually
help
do
Bella
some
and
useful.
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Look,
Well,
Ian has a lot of tools and a lot of skills.
Yeah.
If Ian has time to look at them, Ian can think of something.
Yeah, that's true.
I am the skill monkey who cannot roll to save his life.
You've
so
even
no worries
got a
there.
homebrew class just so you can be more skill monkey than ever before.
Exactly.
Artie, please, that corner is not for you. I would like to assist Richter. Torren will assist
Okay.
with the heavy lifting.
Can you two first of all give me athletics rolls?
Bitch too.
The boys.
Okay.
Oh!
That is very
Nice.
good.
We
That
tear our
is
shirts off.
really good. Really masculine. So that's really good. You go there, and like I said, the middle is all collapsed in with burnt wood and all that sort of thing. And you start hefting up the pieces, getting them out of the way. It doesn't really matter where they go right now. They just can't be here. They can't be in the middle of the building. With the guidance of these two saying, hey, don't touch that. That will knock down the building, all that sort of thing. As you remove more of the outer timber that had fallen on top of this pile, you get more and more ash. Just this thick ash that is caused by all the fires. But you start to notice that some of it is actually, like, warm. Some of it's still slightly hot. And this fire happened a couple of days ago. And while you're hefting the wood around, being very careful, that hot ash starts to coalesce and form together into thick, dark clumps. And when that happens, more fire sparks inside them. Not much, but just enough to be palpably fire. Maybe the first time that happens, you think, oh, it's just, you know, the ash settling. As this happens more and more, a vague shape starts to form in the ash and fire. And in one moment, you're going to give me an initiative roll, my friends.
Oh no.
All of us?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Although you can't see shit right now, because I didn't allow Twitch chat to be able to see through any of your characters' eyes. So let me do that. 1 second.
You watch as from the ashes a huge ash hole appears. And the-
Can you imagine what would happen if we hadn't rolled these double natty 20s on this? There'd been like a huge fire elemental.
You did take away a lot of the fire that could be used as fuel.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was downstairs, one of y'all said I sounded like I was deep
Oh
speeching.
my god!
My shit.
Please.
Shit. Nice.
So
Yeah, I
it's
did
Cthulhu.
notice
Yeah,
that
I get
actually.
that. That's pretty
You're a
funny.
bit of a cultist, aren't you?
Bit of a Cthulhu cultist. Please roll initiative
For tagging.
when you're ready.
Cat will not stop tearing up the carpet.
Let me get
It's
this
like
calm,
scratch, scratch, scratch.
calm music out of the way.
Level 2, Axe and Sage. I'm so excited.
Wow, you guys are you know, consistent. 2 19s, 2 9s.
Oh, -1 on Dex. I respect that, Neil. I really do.
Minus Dex is one of my favorite dump stats.
I've very rarely done it. Almost all my characters.
Oh, very
actually, no.
rarely done
Tell's probably had a minus dex because he wore heavy plate. But you know.
So what's actually really good is you guys, Bella being incredibly careful and incredibly vigilant, actually. Very alert, very aware. Sees this thing starting to form together, basically like under Richter's foot. This hand of burnt ash that forms together, and you manage to call him out of the way and maybe like even lurch him back slightly as this creature forms. It would be kind of a little bit inaccurate to call it a fire elemental by, like, you guys as players understanding. It's like a fire elemental that's almost smoldered out. It's quite small. Like most elementals, it doesn't really have legs. It just kind of peters out into kind of a tail. It's all this dark ash with smoldering embers inside it, but still let off a radius of heat, but is growing and growing. And the face is somewhat bearded, resembling that of a Northman, kind of. So Bella actually gets the first turn.
Doesn't Richter, because he rolled naturally higher?
No, you have a better dex modifier than him.
Okay. Rad.
I believe.
Well, I guess let's shoot this boy.
She does.
That is a miss. The arrow just kind of glances off.
I feel like she just notices him and goes, ugh!
Yeah! And that's like as it's forming up, and it's like the outside is like this gross crust of like burnt, you know, charcoaly. And it's letting out. Anything else you'd like to do?
There is nothing else I can do.
Richter!
Oh, wait, that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm a liar. I'm gonna come around to the other side of him, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you do that? You just swooshed. Which way did you go?
What?
How did you do that run? You just kind of blinked on the
Oh,
screen.
sorry.
If you hold
to-
left click and right click,
1,
it does a
2,
ping.
3. Oh my gosh, 3, 4.
It looks like you did a lot of diagonal movement there.
Yeah.
Well, but rogues at second level can dash as a bonus.
Yeah, if you dash as bonus action and then move, that's fine.
Okay, we'll say I did that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you can make it.
But just so
there.
you remember, if you're holding left click, you can right click to like put a little marker, and I can see where you're going if you do it all at once.
If you're holding left
That
click, you
doesn't
can-
do anything.
Wait.
Yeah,
what-
it does.
I'm.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
All right. I figured it out.
Okay, good. You get
Sorry.
around outside just in time for Richter.
A little astonished that this thing's just made an appearance from the ashes and embers. I'll step back a little bit and I will yell behind me, "Tree, beware its embers!" And I will step forward and strike at its chest with my spear.
That's a hit. Yeah, you, like, the spear's pointed tip pierces through the hardened outer crust of the creature, allowing embers to kind of spew forth like blood would. And it lets out a horrible guttural groan at the action.
And that'll do.
Okay. And the
Fadino.
creature is going to attack back. As, you know, you do this, you stab inside of it, the fire wells up and more embers kind of come off of it, and it's letting out this deep black smoke as well. And the ember wells even brighter and brighter, and it's going to try and attack Richter. What's your armor class?
18.
You are going to manage to deflect the creature on both of its attacks as it just starts slamming and moving and shifting into you. You just form this defensive line where, yeah, your armor is heating up from this, but the creature is not so hot that, like, just the touch burns you yet. It seems like it's trying to get hotter, but it just can't. Maybe because you actually moved most of the tinder away from it. Before the fight happened. Torin.
This area here, is that safe to walk over?
Yeah, I might have made it
It's
difficult
just
terrain
a bit,
before,
yeah.
but realistically, there wouldn't be that much rubble there now because you guys you got double 20s.
Oh wait, no, let me try this newfangled business.
Either do the, arrow keys or the
Did
drag.
that do
Both work. Yeah.
Um,
That's what Josh used to do. Remember Josh used to do this magic? And
I
everyone
remember
was
Josh
like,
used to do it,
"Whoa!"
but he's a magician.
Yeah.
Um,
Technomancer.
and then Turin will clock this boy with his mace.
That's a
Hey.
good hit, yeah. Absolutely. So as the thing is just trying to get through Richter's defense, just a clonk on the back of their head. And their head, like, cracks and spins with the force because there's, like, no bone to stop that happening. It's gross.
And then I will. I can
Just
5, 6 to there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Amaryllis.
my turn.
Job's done.
1,
This
2,
is my cat.
3.
Look, she's so cute.
I'm taking that back because I did not realize exactly how the map was set up.
Yes,
But
that
Amaryllis would have
is...
known, yes.
Yeah, that is enough, of the building to stop vision.
Yeah. Okay. Do I know what this is?
You can give me a nature roll, I suppose. Nature or arcana.
Both are the same, so I'll just roll whatever I had clicked.
I mean, it's clearly a type of, like, you would get the same conclusion as, like, I described it. It's like a small fire elemental or something. Not much more than that.
Fair enough.
It's entirely
Amaryllis-
reasonable that you would have encountered elementals on your explorations before.
Yeah. Amaryllis is going to take a step forward, and she is going to bless the other three people. But she will just call out, "Elemental, why do you attack us like so?" And then just step back.
In what language?
I mean, I don't actually speak Primordial, so it's probably not going to understand
Doesn't
me.
matter,
'cause yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Okay. Bellara,
I'm gonna shoot it.
please do. That's a hit.
And I get sneak attack because there's 2 enemies next to him, right?
There is
tell-
another.
You
of
tell
your
me.
Allies, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just learning how this class works.
Absolutely. Sneak attack is a galaxy brain sometimes.
For years, I consistently was like, "Do I have sneak attack?" Because Swashbuckler's like, "Oh, by the way, these are the rules, but also these are the
Yeah,
rules."
absolutely, yeah. Most of the time I've played as like a scout, which also has different rules just for major fuckery. Yeah, it's a great hit. This thing seems to be able to take a grand amount of damage, but when the arrows like puncture through it, it does leave this smoldering hole that doesn't quite reform properly, and it kind of has to move the ash and burnt detritus around it. So it is getting injured. Is that you?
Yeah, I'm done.
I end my turn. Richter.
Neil, did you move out of the way so I don't get advantage?
I did it. So
Moved out of the
Bellara
way so Bella could shoot.
wouldn't
Okay,
shoot
good.
me.
All right, that's all right then. Thought you were playing with me.
Also, get character kid. You can just wiggle slightly.
Is it an action to toss your shield away?
I don't think so.
Depends whether you can drop it with the free action.
Yes, because it's definitely an action
don
to
and
equip a
doff.
shield.
But
I'll
can
allow
you
you to do
drop-
it for free for now. Look it up.
I will
After the fact.
throw my shield and take my spear into my second hand and
Oh,
drive into it. I actually with my body just go right into it.
yeah.
Oh
Because
my
it's
God,
clear that
this
the
is kinky.
body is not. And that's a hit.
The dice lied to you there. It rolled straight onto a 3 and was like, "Nope, back we go."
Yeah, another great strike, like, pushes this creature back. It actually seems it doesn't have a lot of, like, physical strength. When you do this, when you put your weight against it, it buckles.
Hell yeah. Action Surge. I'm taking it down. I'm doing it again.
Okay.
In fact, yeah.
In that moment where it buckles,
Oh, piss.
You've got bless.
it managed.
It might be enough. It might be enough. Unlikely, but yeah.
Nah.
In that moment where it, you take that extra motion, it manages to push the spear like out of it, and then immediately strike at you, which does pierce your armor. And as it strikes the arms, all of the like black, burnt, charcoaly exterior just fade away to this just hot red. And as it just grabs at you, like grabs at your spear hand, not only are you going to take some damage, but please give me a dexterity saving throw to not get set on fire. It's going to be 19 fire damage.
Okay, so I'm
And-
unconscious.
Jesus.
Wait, not 19, 9. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. well,
The 18 the 18 fucked with me there for a second. No, it's 9, and you say you managed to pull away quick enough to not get burnt. Then with its second attack, it's going to wheel around and strike at Torin.
Can I use my Sentinel feat to take an attack?
Why don't you ping that feat and tell me if
I can. Hold on, wait a minute.
boob.
Whoops. Ping it, please. Ping it.
Yeah, please do. What's your armor class, Torin?
18.
It's going to miss the strike against you. And that's a hit against it. Great example of Sentinel in play here, lads.
It's a terrible hit.
But,
It's a fine hit.
it works. Torin's next.
Torin's gonna hit this boy. He's macing him.
That's a hit. I mean, that joke was a miss, but attack was a hit. Okay. Amaryllis.
Honestly, Amaris does not want to get near the burning thing. She's gonna stay out there and do nothing.
Okay.
I am flammable. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I am literally flammable.
Well, so are the humans.
Yeah, but
Bellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Maybe if you were a redwood, you'd want to be set on fire, and all your bark would undergo that change, and your AC goes up every time you get set on fire.
That's a feat. Bellara, it's your turn. Unless Amaryllis is just... Are you just straight up holding Bless and hiding?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
basically.
Okay.
Oh no!
Well, say goodbye to Richter's eye.
Hell
I'm going to go meet my daddy.
He'd always look better with an eye patch. It's a universal rule. Eye patches are sexy.
As you...
I'm gonna luck it. I'm sorry. This is such a stupid joke.
It is.
No comment. As you fire the arrow, something very strange happens. The creature made of this burnt ash and fire twists around with this great speed. You've only seen it use occasionally because it's almost bogged down by itself. As the arrow comes closer, it kind of burns into the arrow and through, basically blinking right up behind Bellara, becoming these embers and reforming here.
Can I turn around and hit him with a dagger?
No, you can do that with melee weapon attacks. Not
Okay. Not when
range
I
weapon
use a bow.
attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
fair. That makes sense.
Richter.
Oh, did he move away?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about water. I want to use my Sentinel feat so he can't move.
It
'Cause I hit it with an
it wouldn't stop the movement.
It doesn't stop the movement. It reduces its speed to 0. It didn't use its speed.
Okay.
But that is a good one to keep an eye on. And disengage doesn't matter against you.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30. And I will actually
This was magic shenanigans, which is very different.
spear two-hand again.
Great hit. Great hit. You managed to move with such speed that before it's like fully reformed, that like outer protective shell, you just jam in. And like the heat coming off it is palpably growing lesser and lesser with each of these strikes. It's almost getting smaller as more parts are kind of falling off and just burning away on the ground.
The jamming.
Okay. Just for that, it's going to attack you once, Richter. And miss. And then attack Balara once.
Can I use my sentinel feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Balara, you're going to be hit for 9 bludgeoning damage.
Owie, zowie.
Yep, that's a hit
I
against
don't
it.
like it.
Another pretty good hit, sending embers into the air. Torin.
Torin will move to there, and then raise his shield arm, point his finger, and say, "This is our home." And you see a little glimmer of amethyst spread towards it, and then hopefully envelop it.
Unfortunately, you did that against a creature that has an amazing dex mod. It manages to, like, snake and move and wheel around from the... whatever happens. It doesn't quite take effect.
That's my turn.
Okay. Amaryllis. I can hear that water. It's making me thirsty.
Disgusting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm pouring my juice.
Watch out. Trees moving.
Tree is moving.
Shaking. Gotta say, it's really refreshing being in a D&D game that doesn't have 5,000 characters saved to it. I can just look on my DM side and like, oh,
Don't
the
you get
four,
used to
the
it, boy.
4 players, and that's it. What are you doing, Ian?
Would
What's the
I know
plan?
any particularly effective way? I mean, like, logically, like, water or maybe earth against a fire elemental is good. Are there any other ways?
You
that I
can
would
take a
know?
bonus action to make another nature check.
Blow on it really hard, but not too hard.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be a type of small fire elemental, even though it can't muster that fire the whole time. Nearly every fire elemental does take damage from trying to move through water or having water thrown upon it. Also, smoldering it under earth might work, although it did kind of blink. You'd have to be very careful about that. That might take a bit too much effort for this moment right now.
Fair enough. And I don't suppose there's any convenient water sources nearby, are there?
No, you are quite a ways away from the river.
I knew I should have prepared create water. No, I will end my turn there then.
I will tell you that you remember what this creature is, as Amaryllis, you know, is slowly just thinking.
Yeah.
As a tree does, thinking upon memories, and even memories you may not have made yourself. Often called a firegeist. These are pretty much often created when a fire elemental burns out, or when fire burns out under strange circumstances, like this building setting on fire, and often the emotional resonance of such a place can conjure elementals from slumber. So it really is kind of like a small, snuffed-out fire elemental. If allowed to run wild, they just burn everything they can, though. They don't really have any kind of cunning. They just have arson desire. So you really do need to take care of it now.
Ass and desire.
That's the name of my new book. What do you want to do, Amaryllis?
Oh, my
Nothing. I'm staying here.
Okay. Balara.
Okay, tell me if I do this right. Oh my gosh, please.
Yep.
Okay. That's I'm gonna ack over there. And then I'm gonna get out my short sword and I'm gonna hit him.
Ack.
Yeah. Oh, I have advantage. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Sorry, one moment.
That's fine. That's a classic blunder.
Bud. Alright, so that and then my sneak attack also.
Twice.
2 sneak attacks. Mmm.
That's a lot of damage.
What a good sneak attack roll.
Someone get the flex tape.
Luckily, your short sword roll was amazing.
Yeah.
You can, like... This is like a freaking, like, Link rolling and then spin dashing and spin slashing, you know? You, like, cut, like, a huge chunk out of the creature and it, like, falls before, like, reforming, but with, like, a much thinner, spindlier tail of hot red embers. The whole creature is growing smaller and smaller with every strike.
Foxy, can you do, like, a Link yell when he attacks?
Hi. I've heard him say hi. He does it.
Hi!
Did you know, in Mario Kart 8, Link goes, Yahoo! And it's incredibly cursed.
I wish I had done that instead. I did not. I will stay here. I will stay here.
Good.
Okay. I was gonna climb because I get sneak attack either way, but advantage is proving.
Richter. Yeah. But you do think this creature can attack both of you at once.
That's fine.
Well, at least you dodged a 1.
You did dodge a 1.
That'll do.
The creature is going to attack Richter first. It rolled off a 17 onto a 3, so it's a miss. As it spins at him, it's going to wheel back around at Bellara, which is going to
Sentinel.
hit. Yep.
With advantage on reactions?
I don't see why not. Yeah, it's usually the same rules as anything else. It is going to be 8 bludgeoning damage on Bellara as this strike, and it gets like a claw grab and scrabble. As this happens, you know, you manage to hold it in place just long enough for Richter to get a into the back, then the back kind of caves in and embers come out.
Click that.
I really wonder what you're going to do on your turn, Torin.
I was trying to click my little cog so I could read about it, but I just like, and just, yeah.
This creature is speared on Torin's spear. Richter's spear as well.
You leave that in the fanfic.
100% fuck up from the
Torin's
DM.
going to take a few steps
Red
forward.
card off the pitch.
He grasps the amethyst spiral horn hanging around his neck. You see a small purple glow emanating from between his clenched fingers. Bellara, you feel a wind swirl around you.
Well, that's ruined. Thanks, Dean.
Thanks,
now
I hate it.
I'm going to use my fart-propelled mace.
They never told you how Eric the Unicorn summons the winds.
I'm going to miss.
Like the idea that you turn around, put your mace on your ass and go...
And scream, hammer down!
Oh my god. Poor
Did you cast Sanctuary?
I did.
Okay.
I just didn't click it again.
Yeah. I got with Dean.
So that was Sanctuary
And
of
that-
Bellara and
Yeah.
and a missed mace.
Absolutely. Amaryllis.
Do nothing.
Okay.
Speaking of which, there's a cursed video I need to send you, Ollie. Don't let me forget.
I actually need to send you something as well.
It's almost blurted.
No, Bellara. You feel a
Okay.
protective wind around your body. Don't you make my deep lore
Dean's
make a
read
mockery
everything.
of it. Why don't we, you know, explore Ollie's new world and turn everything into a fart joke? I expected this of Doxy, but you, Dean Cuddy. I'm very disappointed in you.
Why are you like
beg
making?
your pardon?
You have an emote that's like Doxy fart or something like that. Fart slide.
Big pump.
Big
Call it. Just a big
All
pump.
right, Doxy, what you doing? What's your turn?
Can I climb this structure?
You can try with an acrobatics or athletics roll. You would have to get away from the creature. If you don't disengage, it will get an attack against you.
I have sanctuary, so I'm not too scared.
Okay.
Oh, I have bless.
Oh yeah, make
That
attack.
does not work on skill rolls.
Fuck, you're correct.
What's the DC it needs to surpass for wisdom to get past
It'll be a
bless?
DC 13.
All right, it succeeds that, but then misses the actual attack.
Oh,
Wait,
oh, thank God.
Can I sentinel an opportunity attack? I don't see why I couldn't.
No, I don't see why not. But you only have one reaction per turn. Keep fucking track of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And
Which
it's
I
not
believed
damage,
you
is it?
used last time.
Yeah, but it's a new 10 order, isn't it?
Well, it's a new turn order on your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, strike that amazing 25.
Yeah, you basically regain your reaction on your turn.
Okay, not the
to
top
use
of the
whatever.
round.
No. There is no top of the round.
That is so sad.
Wasted that
You
20.
let me. It's like the time I portented Ian's 20 away. No 20 for you. Balara, that is enough to climb up the structure. Unfortunately, that's enough to only climb up the structure. You know, this
Okay.
half-burnt structure with a very precariously kept together hole for a roof. So you took time and safety instead of just falling and taking that one fall damage and dying. Richter.
Brain damage.
It's just Dark Souls all over again. Gravity boss.
That's still a
that's all
hit. Yeah, you're doing really well.
Oh, I was
So-
almost an 8.
It's a big strike, but you couldn't just get all the strength behind it. The creature wells up some of its last of its fire. And actually, at this point, what's left is so thin and pallid, it just almost becomes all embers, this hot yellow. And it is going to strike out at you, Richter. And miss the first attack. And hit the second.
Oh, I just realised I threw my shield away, so my AC is 16.
The second
hits the second
strike the second strike is going to not only hit you for 8 bludgeoning, but also going to set you alight. Unless you pass a dexterity save now.
I like in my head, Ollie like nodded sagely when you were like, my AC is actually lower, but inside he was like, fuck.
No, I do. Sometimes I remember that. There's not too many moving parts yet.
To be
Put in
fair,
another parrying dagger and...
Earlier, I was
buff
trying to work
spells
out
and
why I
stuff.
had 18 AC. I forgot that shields give +2. I was like, I don't understand.
I was also briefly doing the same. Yeah. Luckily, you managed to move back enough while the Gambison parts of your armor do set fire. You roll quickly enough to put that fire out in the loose dirt around here. Allowing Torin to go in for the next turn.
Balara's like climbed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can pass through that space.
Yeah.
Torin will
I
like
would let you
circle,
anyway.
and then donk. Powered on by the fact that Ollie correctly mentioned Gambison.
Actually, I might not.
You've
That's-
got bless.
Oh. Slash roll d4.
Like the first time it's been useful in this fight.
That is a hit!
Oh, bud!
And that strike hits true.
Sniped.
Flickering
the creature's
slightly.
head, and it all just turned into nothing but inert ash
Kill steal.
with a echoed screech.
Feels like Apex with Doxy.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Shots fired.
That's the
Probably,
point.
probably miss though, being Cuddy.
Oh, the Spitfire. Oh, no.
Well, there's no fire spitting anymore
Nice.
as the fire elemental falls silent.
Beautifully done, Ollie.
All right. What next?
Torin like clocks it over the back of the head and it goes down and dissipates. And then he like puts the mace on his shoulder and he's like, "Well, that was that wasn't so bad."
I will fall
Ollie
to
likes
one knee.
this.
I'll fall to one knee and balance myself on my spear. I'm like super exhausted with like a big char on my neck, up my face.
Yeah.
Yo,
Balara
you're
will-
all coated in ash and charred wood and smoke.
Balara will like fancy gymnastics tumble off of the thing, but like when she lands,
Yeah.
she like winces and is just like, okay, I need some rest.
I shall retrieve some water for you all.
Thank you.
Slowly,
Yeah.
with no agency or haste,
Nope.
towards the
I would
river.
probably duck into a shelter or something.
Yeah.
Lay down.
Lay down, catch some Z's.
Mm-hmm.
Torin.
Yeah?
You know what that was?
Well, some sort of fire spirit. Perhaps it was to do with the bloodshed that went on here combined with the dragons. Well, I suppose it didn't breathe fire per se, but it has a corrupting influence. So if you mix corrupting influence with fire and murder, then I guess you get one of these. He like pokes it with his foot.
That corruption we saw in the forest. Could this happen there as well?
Well, he probably does actually like adjust his helmet and be like, well, you probably need a source of fire, so I doubt it.
Good. Ugh, I'll like fall onto my back.
Torin will stretch out a hand to help
Oh.
him up.
I'll clasp his wrist. Go.
As you come up, you feel a second wind.
What?
You feel like a light breeze blowing over the burned wounds, and you feel it feels cooling, and you're like, oh, this is not. And then the burning feeling doesn't come back so much, and you'll actually heal for not that one. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. It would be 9 HP.
Thank you.
At this point, Amaryllis slowly re-enters with like a pail of water or something and just says, "It is known as a fire geist. It could be the dragon's influence. It could be the remnants of a stronger spirit. In either case, fire elementals are unlikely in the forest, but other elementals possible." Because apparently she somehow knows exactly what you said.
She's weird.
She's weird, exactly.
So he actually just went round the corner and dug her roots in and like, yeah.
All right, you guys like do a quick tending to the wounds with water. If you guys want to take a short rest, feel free. Although remember, on a long rest, you only heal half of your maximum hit dice. So at level 2, you're only going to regain 1 hit dice usage during a long rest. Now, usually
I
there's
feel
so
like-
much time between what happens. That's usually fine, but just so you know.
I feel like me and my my 1 HP would like to take a long rest if at all possible.
You can start taking a long rest.
I will. You guys have fun RPing without me for a minute while I recover some HP.
And struggle to put on a shirt.
It's a robe. I'm cold.
But we just got attacked by fire.
Ha
I'm 1 HP. I'm sleeping whether I want to or not. My body is done.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that, with the 20 and this, you know, the damage has been moved out enough. Next, you need to rebuild a roof on this structure. And doors would be something Griff would be able to set up in the future, but that's not as important as a roof against the rain and snow. Which hasn't come yet, but is coming soon. Now, you do have, by now, because it has been a couple of days since the dragon attack, a lot of the people who are strong enough to work, who had more minor injuries, are strong enough to work. You know, the people who would often do the, you know, oh, we need logs to build a house, will help chop down some trees and things. And Oscar would be kind of organizing the people who are strong enough to wield an axe. Head to the forest. We don't take too greedily. The forest is damaged enough.
So they collected some nice lumber.
They're going to try.
Okay.
Would you guys want to oversee or help with that, or would you just take the chance to rest?
I'd want to escort them.
Yeah, Torrin agrees because we've seen bad stuff in the forest.
Absolutely.
Amaryllis would go along.
Awesome.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
We'd all slag Bellara off for sleeping while we're out working.
I'd be like, Torrin, where's your little friend?
Well, I don't know whether you noticed, Richter, but she got quite hurt.
We all got hurt.
Yes, but I healed you, remember?
That's true.
Yes, it is. Now, I think we probably have a job to do.
I like it. You're perking up.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I guess.
Disappointing.
It was like when you tried to hit that thing with your spear and it missed.
We all
You know.
miss.
Disappointing.
I don't.
No, never mind. Amaryllis found it funny, did you?
Amaryllis is just examining nearby trees, like this one would be
Yeah.
suitable.
And you guys who have been talking to Amaryllis, you're like dealing with like 30-year-old, you know, Northman now who's just like there isn't this street talking. Like they are people understand you but are still confused about you occasionally. Luckily, with your village already being so small, you didn't have a lot of people who were very specialized in their career path, because that only you can really afford to do in a larger town. So you have people who are like, everyone knows how to chop down a tree. Whether or not you're good at it is another question. So you're going into the forest with around 6, you know, good strong folk. The forest, with its heavy ridges and tight trees. In a couple of days since the dragon attack, more pools of fetid water have started to form, where there was this kind of stream that trickled through that joined the main river. It's mostly dry, but there's just pools of almost swampy water would be the easiest way to describe it. The smell is not pleasant. Again, it's that uncomfortable sweet smell that comes with the dragon's poison. It's clear that the forest is unwell, and the folk that come with you, the ones that are a little more holy, do say prayers to whichever spirits in the trees would be listening. One lady is like, but we have a forest spirit of our own to assist us. such like that.
While like woodcutting and such like is ongoing, at some point I would ritually cast detect poison and disease, and just because obviously like the pools are poisonous, I just want to get a sense of how extensive the poison is and if it's infecting like everything, or if there are some things that it's missing or that are resisting it better, or
Can you give me
what have
a nature roll on top of that to kind of decipher what you see?
Sure.
That's really good. So you're doing this while people are sort of, you help people pick up choose which trees are healthiest to cut down and best, which is actually one of Torin's future jobs to learn what is safe to cut and won't damage the forest. For the couple of people who are preparing, and when they kind of can work on their own, you do this. You dig your roots a little deeper into the ground and expand your natural senses. And what you sense about this forest is unnerving. The very groundwater of this place is corrupted, which means anything that sucks up water may become poisoned by it. Some trees and some plants are strong enough to withstand it. It's not like the older trees here are actually all that harmed, and some of the older trees, just won't be affected at all. You've heard of places where, little groves are just immune to the effects of any kind of corruption in the water and stuff like that. Often around mines, because mines can damage the water table of areas quite badly. So some trees just are strong, some plants just adapt. The creatures of the forest that are still around, everything needs to drink. And some are more palpable to poison than others. In fact, when you sense this out, you sense a strong essence of poison around a rat that is just laying by one of these pools of water. And these pools of water are everywhere. Would you go and examine?
At a distance, does it look
It's
dead?
kind of... It looks unwell. It's larger than, a forest rat should be. They might grow larger in some of the settlements of the world, feeding off the backs of pigs and things. But what's more noticeable is a layer of moss and, mold and, swamp grime that's kind of coated it. It's kind of, made it become green, which is why you guys didn't notice it before. Not that you're paying attention to every animal in the forest, but you're keeping a wary eye.
I think I would very cautiously, Amaryllis moves slowly. She's moving with even more care than normal to go and examine it.
Mm-hmm. It does seem... It seems alive. You can kind of hear its breathing, which is hoarse and gross. But it is completely... It's almost like a different creature, right? It's bloated, sickly.
Okay. Also, have I noticed any signs of scrags or anything?
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
You'd be worried if the area was more waterlogged, because the forest has, ridges and things, and you're kind of in a what could be a basin right now. If there was a heavy rain, a scrag would really be attracted to this place.
Okay.
But right now, you don't notice any.
Okay, so Amaryllis would sort of return to Torin and Richter and say, the poison is spreading as foretold. The strongest trees, the largest plants will likely remain safe from the poison, but already things are turning, and she sort of points at the rat. Creatures, small creatures like that one, are undergoing change. It will not be safe for those with no martial skill shortly.
Oh no. Torrin would like run up to the little rat and like crouch down and be like, oh.
I will walk up
Oh.
behind and skewer it with my spear.
And this is where we're going to take a little break. For no reason at all.
This is why you get shit on the tweets.